what is his name? Brandon, whatever the president's
Brandon,
name is, President
Ben,
Brandon,
Ben
whatever his name is.
Stokes.
Stokes. The people that are kind of behind him are his appointees, and maybe the people of the court are from a different president or different, they're not his. So it's like you said, he was the he was the final split. It was basically 50-50, and he was the final vote. So because of he knew what he knew, and because he's like, yeah, President Stokes is basically not doing this because of what he said. He said, oh, AI and it's immoral and we shouldn't be doing this. But really, it's because he didn't want the secrets, the American secrets, to come out that they did this. They experimented on a whole bunch of Indian Muslims, you know. So it does intrigue me. It definitely does intrigue me because it does reflect, with Stacy, she has her pulse on, she has her hand on the pulse of the government. So it definitely does intrigue me that a lot of this that she's writing about, I'm sure a lot of certain things she's experienced, certain things. She probably knows a lot of secrets, so yeah, I am definitely intrigued about the next book. My book should be waiting for me when I get home.
All right, Ray, you were going to say something.
Yeah, no, I was gonna ask everyone, um, to follow up to your question. I don't feel like the author established a good enough relationship between Gwen and Avery to ask Avery to do such a daunting task. I think that's where
Yes.
I'm struggling in
Hmm.
the book.
Yeah,
I'm
Hmm.
struggling.
Yeah.
that's what I asked. That's why I asked this question to,
Tamara. Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
like we
that's
we cool, but we ain't that cool to be get
like,
put in my life
because
all
Well,
it's
he was
like.
just
kind
two,
of he was kind of an asshole to her, right? He was
it's
kind of an
just two
asshole.
years. It's just 2 years she's into the court, and she's just like a clerk there. Of
But
course,
he
court
wasn't
court
very
clerk.
nice to her either. Remember, he
He
wasn't
wasn't
very
nice to
nice.
nobody.
Anybody.
Right, right.
Yeah, he was
So
like kind of tearing apart anybody coming to his office.
But I think maybe the way she set it up was that the reason why he picked her because he knew her since, even though it's only been 2 years, he knew her sense of ethics and her sense of loyalty was deep ingrained in her that he would she would do this versus what was that other guy that was kind of always messing with her? Um,
Was it
Michael
Matthew
or
Whence,
or
Matthew?
something?
whence,
Yeah.
whence,
He
or
No,
the
her
guy that worked with
colleague.
her, her colleague
huh?
that worked with her.
Her colleague.
Matt,
The guy.
Matt
Matt,
something,
Matt.
Matt something.
So I think like him and the other
Mm.
person that was working, because it was like three people that was working there. I think they were there longer than she was. It's like him not picking them because he knew they're not they're not going to even attempt to take this on. I think maybe the way she set it up was even though they've only known each other a short time, he understood her deep sense of loyalty and vulnerability, not vulnerability, but loyalty and ethics. That's why he chose her. I
Oh,
think.
good.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. I mean, if I analyze to the follow-up question from Ray, that if I see that how she grew up from after her father's loss, and she was bailing out her mother since she was just early teens. Think like if you're bailing out your mom when you are just 13, you are supposed to be a kid. So you are bailing out your mom, and then you are taking. So that's kind of growth, and she knew she's alone. She's not supported by any kind of any relative or anyone on earth. So that's the kind of challenges she faced in her earlier life. So that gave her the kind of power in herself. I think what Stacy is trying through the eyes of Win, Justice Win, that he saw that she is the one possesses that kind of capability that if she's given a harder tasks, and she would stand up to it. And a couple of times he wrote that he didn't have any kind of connection, and he knew some of the things he wrote to her, and he put her in charge. So he knew he's going to put her in charge. So he kind of played a gamble that she could take it, she couldn't take it, wouldn't take it. But her mother, the relationship and the kind of character which win a kind of understanding that even that kind of very loose connection and whatever, she is supposed to be taking care of the daughter, it's the daughter taking care of the mom, and not because of the age or anything, just because of the mental kind of situation she put herself into. And then she's still like trying to, whatever she's earning, I don't know, he would have seen or not. I'm talking about Justice Wayne, that whatever he would have observed without telling her, but he would have gone to Georgia and wherever he would have placed those kind of things and written all those, and even to Noah, all those kind of things. He put it in detail. So I think just because of her personality, and I'm happy for Avery that she's put to some kind of challenge where she can prove that what she is actually. So there are lots of Americans that they work for a greater cause when they work, although they know that by the end of the day they would get their paycheck. But whatever satisfies them is kind of higher moral ground. So that higher moral ground kind of satisfies to them, which paycheck can't.
I think with Avery too.
And if you talk about the scientist, it's not the job of a scientist to create or to discover or to do something. He's a scientist, he's doing his daily job. But those kind of people, they are the kind of people they lead them, not only their nation, but the mankind. That's why we are here, whatever we are doing, like a live streaming. Probably my grandpa told me when I was just like, I'm talking about 1970 something, 72 maybe. My grandpa told me that there would be a time people would have their something like they want to meet someone, they would just be having there in their palm. So the things would be like within the fingers that you can see the other world around, which is thousands of kilometers. So that thing is not a miracle anymore. I was thinking of some miracles kind of thing when I was a child. So those kind of things now, it's like I remember when I was studying computer science, I was told by the teachers and the books that there would be a time that probably in future somewhere, I don't know, we don't know when, there would be something called terabyte. So now you have the terabyte carrying in your mobile. So I mean, so small as like your fingernail. Anyway, so I was thinking on the other side that this kind of things, these kind of deep state actors are almost like every other developing and developed country. Like, you saw that whatever happened in the past 10 years all over, you would see things like in America, those guys who they ran away to Russia, or those kind of things like those WikiLeaks, and there was another guy who went to Russia. I forgot his name. There are like in other parts of the world also, there are people who probably they would have been killed. They would have a better kind of their secret service agents. They won't fail. So they wipe out those facts, whatever they were playing.
And I think those instances, I can't think of the guy's name. What was the guy name that
What he
went
was doing, what character.
no in real life they went to Russia. What was the guy's name?
I
Uh
remember his face, a young guy with the
yeah
glasses,
yeah
that he was.
yeah, what's his name? But we're seeing more and more. They just put a guy in the Tennessee National Guard. Tennessee Air Guard. He was an analyst. He was selling.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what this book is inspired. That these things really do happen, um, especially behind closed doors. These mergers. There's a purpose
And
for these
even
mergers.
even you remember last one of the books when we were talking about something about the space programs.
Snowden.
Huh?
His name was Snowden.
Yeah,
Snowden. That's right.
Snowden.
Snowden.
Yeah,
Snowden.
something Snowden. Yeah, yeah.
And then
Sorry,
you got
sorry
the
for the
other.
interruption.
No. You had the other guy too that turned trans. What was the guy who turned into who was trans when he went to prison? What was that guy's name? He what was his name? He's a woman now. He transitioned. Well, he
Mm,
trans he transitioned. Let's put it that way.
mm.
What is his name? I can't remember his name.
Mm,
Oh man, I think he was bigger than Snowden for a while. Remember they put him in prison. Um. Ah. Anyway, but yeah. I mean that's the only part of the book that kind of throws me off is like I don't feel like the relationship between Avery and Wynn was strong enough for him to ask her to do because this is not really like we talk about public service. Is this really public service?
And
Right?
that's why I
Like
was saying, did she do it out of duty to the country, not just to
yeah,
him to win?
yeah. Because it seems like this is not really a people's thing. This is like more of a Garrett Wynn, Garrett Justin. I don't know. But the book is good. It's
But
not a bad book.
she says one of the things she says in the book was like he trusted me with the truth, not just his life, you know. So he trusted me to eventually figure these things out and to get the truth out there. So yeah, so I think, like Yasmin said, did she do it because of her deep love and love and
Okay.
loyalty to
I
him?
will.
Or was it
I will.
her love and
Yeah.
loyalty to what the America, the justice system is maybe supposed
Yeah.
to be?
I would put a question in these lines on these lines, right? Like if I look into what Stacy is trying to uncover is the Supreme Court, the justice, or the government, or the power which is with them, or what they're trying to do. I mean, what she's trying to do, what kind of things she's trying to uncover, the legal system, the political system, or the judicial system, or the government itself, or how they these
No,
powers they interact.
I think she's trying to highlight the fact that the court is just as biased as every other branch.
Hmm.
That they're not these wise men and women who are just sitting there impartially making decisions. I think that's what
And
she's really trying to
yeah,
highlight.
and part of the question furthermore to it just came to my mind was is that there those secret agencies or those powerful like this one, the Homeland Security Department or some other chemical and these kind of department, the people in charge there, do they really benefit from them or they use them with their technical advancement and the knowledge, they use them for their personal gains and kind of whatever the short-term gain goals, whatever they
Oh,
have in their mind.
no, that's
So,
absolutely. Listen, some of these guys who become head of these departments, they're already millionaires. They, they're taking a pay cut or to take these jobs. Um, so the reason why they're taking these jobs is so they can get insider information, so they can, you know,
mhm.
uh, take their information and make more money. You know, to build relationships, actually propel their current businesses. So yeah, that's the folly of civil service. It's interesting to me because I remember when I had graduated, uh, when I was about to graduate, I had a conversation with an alumnus, and we were talking
Mhm.
about public service
Mhm.
and civil service,
Mhm.
and he was telling me that as a government employee you don't make a lot of money.
Mhm.
It is you're really doing it for because you want to, do some service for your country. But but after Clinton, I think it was Clinton who signed. Was it Clinton who signed where the government employees got major pay raises? Like, so now you have some government jobs that are just as, you're not wealthy, but they're decent salaries now. They're competitive to the corporate space. So that's when we talk about like why people go into civil service, it's no longer that people go into civil service because they want to do something cool for their country. It's because government jobs are paying well, and have that paid well since Clinton. I believe it was Clinton who gave the big pay raises to government. Because before, nobody wanted to work in government because government didn't pay. Um, so, when we talk about why people do things, nowadays it is for the pay and connection, because once you stop working for the government, you have enough connection to now get, that big corporate job where you're making, big bonuses and you're wealthy.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Tamara, you have to say something on that. That the question I put to Ray, that do you think Stacey is trying to uncover the judicial system, the political system, the court system, or the power which is given to these kind of secret agents or their heads or their bosses or the other powers in the government,
I definitely,
senators,
yeah, I definitely think that she is trying to stay something. She's been a political powerhouse for a while. Was she a senator at one time or a governor or
governor.
okay,
She ran for the governor, but
Grant?
she had a
Okay.
political some position she held. I remember
Yeah, she's had a
sometime.
political career, I mean, she has a political career rather. Um, I think Ray got knocked out.
Mm,
Um, so she's definitely still in the political arena. And she's definitely still has her like, finger on the pulse of, what's going on
mm,
in here in America and outside of America's judicial system. I definitely think she's saying some things as far as where our justice system is going and something that has been said for many, many years regarding how possibly judges should not be it should not be a lifelong position. There should be some type of oversight because you have, these old men, 80, 90, 100, well, I don't know if anybody's 100, but who've been in this position for 30, 40, 50 years and they still think the way they thought, when they first started. So, I definitely think she is saying something about the judicial system as far as who really has the power. For those who understand things that I'm learning, it's not really the president that has the power, you know, and it's the judicial system, it's the Senate, it's the House, it's the checks and the balances. And like right now, we don't really have those checks and balances. Everything is kind of well willy-nilly. I do think there is a lot of shadow government, I mean not shadow government, shadow organizations, things that we don't know about. Like this, she created, who is it? The guy who killed, what is his name? Who
Betty
killed,
Papelio
yeah, who
and Betty
killed the
Papelio
nurse. Yeah,
and the
he killed
nurse
the
and Betty
nurse. I
and
mean,
Dr.
he
Betty
just killed, yeah, he just killed poor Betty. I mean, she just doing her job and he just killed her and melted
and
her.
Had
also
no
the
idea it
nurse
was coming.
He just made her, he erased her. He just,
disappeared and even her husband.
yeah,
Yeah.
like they just, and he doused her in something and just, you couldn't even, like, you could, he's like,
She
nothing's,
Disappeared
evaporated,
from the face of the earth.
yeah, nothing is
evaporated.
gonna, there won't even be any
Yeah,
dental record.
even like you see that I mean he is acting like a judge. He's acting like a executioner. He's acting like a policeman. He's acting like a statesman. He's acting like the savior of the state. He's acting all in one and
Yeah,
taking
it's
all the
like
thing, taking all the thing that she all of a sudden she becomes the I
the
mean
enemy.
the enemy or a criminal,
Yeah. Then he
and
did
she's
that to
the
her husband too,
executioner.
right? He evaporated
Yeah,
the husband too.
what kind of thing that her husband did? What kind of crime her husband did?
He was married to her.
Being
She was being too
married to her?
nosy. She was,
Not
No, because
not
the husband was gone first, and that's why she got into the nursing thing with the judge, so that
right.
no.
Oh no,
I'm
they
that
talking
were
was
about
holding the
Betty's
husband over
no
her.
Betty's husband. Betty's
Betty's
husband.
Oh, I'm
husband.
sorry.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
Did they mention
With
Betty's husband?
I think
yeah,
so. I
they
think they
cleaned up.
wrote they got him tick.
They
They
said
said
they
let's
said
get
that
tickets.
clean
Like
up.
he
His husband
left,
would not. Yeah,
and they
yeah,
yeah
her
they
husband won't make it to
they
the
to the coast. They were supposed to go on vacation or something,
yeah
and they
wherever
See,
they
that
were going.
all went over my head.
yeah
I
they
didn't even
got him
catch
too.
that Betty
Yeah,
had a
they got him
husband.
too.
Twice he said twice.
Yeah, but it's
Once he
like poor
planned it, and second he confirmed. Yes, both are vanished. Both have vanished.
yeah, and it's so poor Betty. Her being curious, her doing her job. She
What's her
just
husband's role? I mean, like her husband was not even any kind of a whistleblower or not kind of. He was just married to that, and even I don't know how estranged he was because he was not at home even. Maybe somewhere
yeah.
else in other
He
state
was
or
somewhere
somewhere.
and they found him and killed him. Yeah. Yeah.
Killed,
So it's
not only
like
killed, cleaned up.
just cleaned them. Yeah. So it's like I do think there are agencies out there that do those types of things and have been for many, 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 many years, or decades rather. A good friend of mine's, a childhood friend of mine's, he was well, he's not active in the military anymore, but he was a Navy SEAL. He always tells me once a SEAL, never a SEAL. Always a SEAL. That's what he says. I'm like, okay. Um, he's like, he does some things with the government, or he did some things with the government, and he was just saying, you're never really out.
Yes, there are things that they
Yeah.
put you undercover, and even like you're retired, but they keep giving you something, and also it feeds you more.
So
So
yeah, so
it is
that's what
on
he
both
says.
ends.
He's like,
It both on both ends. It's beneficial for
that's what
you,
he
like a
said. He was
win-win.
like, even though he's retired, technically retired from the Navy,
Yeah.
he is still, you're never really, he was like,
Yeah,
and
you
how
got to
high
keep
he,
those secrets.
yeah, he was like,
You
you're
can't
never really
divulge
out,
any information.
right?
That's
And he,
another thing. That's another thing. But like kind of you serve as the eye of the bigger organization who you worked for. You still like intact, like you see. I mean, um, there are different departments in the military, and even as we mentioned that there are more than one, maybe dozens, and like there are some of the agencies you won't even know their names. They are so secretive about
yeah,
them. So the people they are working,
names or even faces. It's like
I'm talking about
very
not the
few people.
people's names. I'm talking about the organization's
Oh yeah, the
names.
organization, yeah, yeah.
You won't know their name. Just like we were talking about that. I asked the question in the group in the beginning. What Tigris project? So the
Hmm.
Tigris project, of course, there would have been some project where as an organization, there would have been fund allocated to it, and there all those things are going from like so. They manipulate in a way that they allow those things to happen, and there are lots of what you call it, especially there are lots of products of the Cold War era which are still like in there, so they have not gone away. Anyway, um, I would
Yeah,
see
I
if
just
there is
want to.
any
I
other
want.
point you wanted to. Yes, go ahead,
Yeah, I
Ray.
just want one thing about why the why justices have lifelong terms. There's a reason
Hmm.
why justices have lifelong terms, and that's because the two other branches are very transient, right? So the executive branch can be it could be 4 years, 8 years, and then it's unstable. 4 years, 8 years, 4 years, 8 years. Um, the Congress has traditionally, even though you have congressmen who stay in Congress for 30, 40, 50 years, it's still a very transient branch because the average congressman only serves 2 terms, right? They're 2-year terms. He only served 2 terms, so it's a very transient. That's the reason why a lot of times Congress doesn't do a lot because it's a very transient branch. There's even though we have midterms, you have special elections. Everybody is not voted in Congress during the midterms. Very transient. So we need one branch to be pretty stable, right? So we need one branch to be consistent in its rulings to provide some stability. And this is why, even though we have checks and balances, the judicial branch, and we're saying that with the Trump administration, the judicial branch uh, is the most powerful. In very, the legislative branch is supposed to be the most powerful because it's the branch that directly represents the people. However, because
And
it's
also
so
changes is able to change the constitution.
right, it's able to do everything. So
Yeah,
the legislative branch can do everything, right? Because
yeah,
the legislative branch is the people.
yeah,
But again, because it's so transient and it's
yeah.
so many, it's hard to get things done because things have to get done in a very difficult house, and then it has to go in the Senate and yada yada yada. So you need one branch that can act swiftly, right? This is why each branch has its own powers. If we need to go to war or we need to address something abroad, the president can do it abroad. Really, you got to remember
Yeah.
it wasn't until really it wasn't until Andrew Jackson that the presidency was really even important, right? Up until Andrew Jackson, the first, the father of the Democratic Party, he made the presidency important because up until that point, the president was really just like a prime minister. He was addressing foreign issues.
Yeah, the federal issues.
Because remember, state rights trumps all, right? Even today, so your governors were more powerful than the president. And then
Yes.
as America got more and more
Yeah,
influential throughout the
states.
world,
Yeah.
the president became more and more influential to the point now where it's a bully pulpit.
And
But so my point was the reason why we justices have lifelong appointments is for stability. Because you need one of those branches have to be consistent.
and
And
and also one
I
more thing.
think that definitely is a good as a in the beginning, the way, the development of America. I think that was a good idea then, but I think that no longer serves us anymore
But there
of
is
it
one
being
thing.
a lifetime appointment.
Yeah, but
It's probably more important now than
Ray,
even then
you're not audible very well.
yeah. Hold on a second.
Right.
Yeah, hold on a second. That going
Yeah.
stupid thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably more important now because of the complexity. The country is way more complex than it was 200, 150 years ago, 100 years ago. So it's probably more now. The reason why we don't like it now is because of postmodernism, right? We don't like we cringe when I say people cringe now when they see a bunch of people, particularly white men, making decisions. We cringe because that's where we are, and we're in postmodernism, right? I remember when I was in my doctorate program, I had my qualitative book. The cover of the author's preference said that the purpose of qualitative research is to deconstruct current power structures. That's a very postmodern mindset.
Approach.
So
Yeah.
the reason why we don't want
people in these positions, because these people who tend to be in these long-term positions tend to be Caucasian men, right? And we cringe with that, right? If they were other people, if they were women or black or people of color, we wouldn't have a problem with it. But because these institutions are deeply rooted, are deeply Caucasian and deeply men, we tend to have a problem with it.
But one more thing I would like to say, we have in Pakistan almost like a similar system in terms of the judges, but they are not lifelong, but they are they would when they retire, they would get the same kind of benefits, whatever they were getting. And but they can be called on duty anytime, is one thing. Second thing, in terms of, as you were mentioning about these bringing the stability into the system, that because these are politically appointed or politically, I'm talking about the other senators, they are politically elected people, and so they are very transient. Their terms are very short, like either 1, 2 terms or something like that, or could be some very few would go into the other terms. And they would
And,
not even justices, they do not have their uh, social life as open. They sacrifice that. They
and,
don't they don't mingle with the common people, and yeah, go ahead.
and I want to say that it actually works, right? We don't
Yeah,
like it when the Supreme Court makes a decision that we don't like, we get mad.
yeah,
It's like a sports team. We get mad
yeah,
when our team loses, right?
yeah, yeah,
But you think about Chief Justice Roberts.
yeah,
Like even though he was appointed by a Republican, he votes kind of liberal. And so
yeah. They don't
we've seen the
toe the
history.
party lines.
Right.
They don't
And
toe the party lines.
we've seen all throughout history where people who we thought were going to be conservative go liberal, people who we thought were going to be liberal go conservative. So the system actually works. It's just got to make sure that we are electing the right president and the right presidents to
Yeah,
appoint
that's
just justices. That's the system. And this is where the Congress comes in line, because
yeah.
Congress
This
has the
is
power to veto presidential appointments.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
it doesn't happen right not on the ground. It doesn't happen that regularly. Number one, number two, the because of the enterprise is getting bigger, as you mentioned that a couple of 100 years ago, the enterprise, the country, the state government, the total, all the federal government was not so big. Now they are withdrawing, or they are pulling out or squeezing out taxes so much, but they are not putting it into the right directions of like serving the people. They are serving themselves, their federation. So the federation overwhelms the whole enterprise in terms of like the look of the federation comes over. So this is what those governments all over, I'm talking about all the other countries as well. So they try to pull into a federation and bring up this kind of I mean, I would not, it's not utopian, but some kind of something which is, I mean, originally it is not on the ground there, but they want them to be in power. Anyway, we have consumed our time, and we had a very good, wonderful discussion, although we had only 4 people to join today. But we had a good discussion on the book, and we stayed on topic mostly. This is one of the other good parts of the discussion. Thank you very much, everybody. If anybody has to add something,
who next week is the last week, right?
yeah.
Who's up next?
Who is up next? Probably me or you.
I think yeah, you're up next. I believe it. I believe.
Okay.
Or is it if you're up and then after you it's going to be Bridget, right?
Or you, maybe.
No, no, no. Bridget,
Bridget
because
just
Bridget.
just Bridget, she just had the book just a while ago.
Oh, that's right.
Um,
She did have the book. She had
yeah,
the book read. That's right. No,
yeah.
I think it's Mr. Hassan and then Ray and then me.
Yes, yeah, you're right.
All right.
So
So
for
Or
me,
Dr.
it's very clear.
Mahasa. Has she chosen one?
no,
I
I
Yeah,
don't
don't
she
think
think
has
she's
Dr.
had
chosen
a
Mahasa
before.
chance.
chosen.
She had chosen one. You remember
Oh,
the
okay.
honey, mad honey?
Oh, the honey, yeah.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right.
And so for
So
me,
you're
it's
going to be up
clear.
next. You have
I,
a
I'm
book.
Yeah, that one, the first book I would read that one. You know, the Murder Mystery Club?
Oh, we're gonna read that again?
The
Read
first
that
book.
series, the first
Yeah,
book
the
of it.
first
Okay.
book. Yeah. Okay.
All right. All right. All right. See you guys
Okay.
next week then.
Thank
Good
you.
night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank
All right.
For the rest of
Good
your
Mara,
week.
day.
All right.
thank you.
Bye for
My
now.
day is still going on,
Bye.
so it's only 2 o'clock here. So good day.
Okay. All right. Have a good day. The remaining part of the day. Thank you. Bye-bye. And Ray, would you be able to post this one in the group? Because some of the members were missing and they wanted to uh, look into the recording, although it was, I think, later part it started.
Yeah,
Are you
it
there?
didn't dawn on me. Yes, we only got half of it.
Yeah,
Well,
like,
but I'll post it. I'll post the half we
yeah,
have.
okay.
All right.
I forgot actually even. I had it
Yeah.
written in front of me, but because I was asking the questions and like those things, I thought would not
No,
miss.
it was the first thing on my mind, and then it just slipped my mind. It was the first thing on my mind to make sure to make sure we had YouTube, and then I just didn't do it. All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.